A former Louisville Metro police officer has been sentenced to 5 years in prison. Pablo Cano pleaded guilty to multiple counts of sexual misconduct.
Cano was accused by 5 women of forcing them to have sex. Wave 3 News reporter David Mattingly is following this case. So these allegations first came up 2 years ago.
And the women were accusing Cano of rape, not just misconduct. This was a plea deal that a spokesman for the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office says all the victims agreed to. Officer Pablo Cano as a sexual predator, allegedly forcing his victims into sex, sometimes while he was in uniform, armed, and on duty.
I'm thrilled that he's actually going to do some time.
Previously known only as Jane Doe No. 1, Heather Richards describes Cano's guilty plea as a relief.
I would have testified, definitely would have gotten up there if that's what it took, but I'm thrilled that I don't have to.
Looking very different from his days on the LMPD, the former officer was sentenced to 5 years for 5 counts of sexual misconduct, a misdemeanor, and 1 count of possessing material portraying the sexual performance of a minor. He avoids a trial and possibly a tougher sentence. His victims avoid the ordeal of testifying. Attorney for the 5 Jane Does says it's not the best outcome, but it's the one everyone can live with.
Every time they have to repeat the story, it affects them. So if it makes it less likely that they have to go to trial, I think that helped all of them try and move on from this.
Cano could be eligible for parole after he completes a sex offender treatment program. Then he's on to 5 years probation, and he will be listed as a sex offender. Cano's attorney had only a brief comment saying, Mr. Cano is relieved to have the criminal portion of this case behind him. 5 accusers are still pursuing civil cases against Cano and the city, his former employer. They hope today's guilty plea improves their chances for a settlement so the women will not have to testify in a civil trial. David Mattingly, Wave 3 News.